Hey everybody, today, this is Mr. McKee with Net 225. Today I'm going to be going over Lab 8.5.1, which is configure DHCP version 6. Alright, one change though, this is going to be a variation. I'm going to do it in Packet Tracer because our NetLab system is not currently configured like this, so I'm going to go ahead and just trial it in Packet Tracer. Now I know one thing that doesn't work in there is the DHCP relay, but you'll be able to see all the configurations. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to configure the topology just the way they have it here, and then I'll break it down a little bit. All right, so what I want to do first is go down here, grab two PCs, drag those to the workspace, two switches. 2960s are fine. Alright, two routers. I'll use a 4321, that'll be fine. Alright, now one thing you notice also if you read down through here, the requirements are two routers, 4221s, and a 2960 switches and two PCs. All right, these should work for what we're doing. But just remember, there's some variations because this is Packet Tracer. All right, but here's our addressing table. R1 is going to have two interfaces, link local and a global interface. IP address, same thing with gigabit 001. Router 2 has two interfaces. G000 with that address, and then the link local address, and same thing with the interface down here. And then the two PCs are going to get dynamically assigned IP version 6 addresses. All right, I'm going to set up. If you see how these interfaces are set up, I'm going to set up my topology just like that. So, and I'm going to rename, let's see. And unfortunately, this is Packet Tracer 7.3.0, so some of the stuff is a little bit different than the previous version. But first thing I'm going to do is rename these devices on the workspace. And just because I do this doesn't mean it changes this in the configuration. R2. S2 and PCB. Alright, needs to be just like that. Now the way I'm going to grade this though, since it's not auto grading, I'm going to look at your configuration files for your, not really the switches, well, take that back. Mostly the R1 and R2, but also the two switches. You have to do some basic configuration changes on those. Alright, so PCA, I'm going to connect with a copper straight through from there on Fast Ethernet 0 to S1's F06. Alright, other side of that switch of F05 is going to go to R1's gigabit 001. Alright, and then from R1 gigabit 000 to R2's gigabit 000 and R2's gigabit Ethernet 001 to S2's F05. Just make sure that's right. Alright, and then from the switches F018 to PCB's Fast Ethernet. Alright, so those are up there. I can hit fast forward to converge the switch to PC connections. Alright, right now though, if you look in here, neither one of the routers have IP version 6 turned on. If I go down here, auto config, I don't get anything. Alright, just this link local address. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that just to my notes. So I have it, PCA and PCBs is over here. Alright, so no matter what I click on, that's the link local address. And what we could do if we wanted to, we could go to PCB 5947 is the last four. That 5947, it's assigning the last, let's see, 43.6b. If you notice that, I'll show you later, but this corresponds to the link local address. See 43 right there, 43, 6b, 5947. All right. So let's go ahead and get started on this thing. All right. The dynamic assignment of IP version 6 global unicast addresses, or GUAs, can be configured in the following three ways. Stateless address auto configuration, and that's spelled wrong, that should be auto, A-U-T-O. All right, through SLAAC, stateless dynamic host configuration protocol for IP version 6, or stateful DHCP. When using SLAAC to assign IP version 6 addresses to hosts, a DHCP version 6 server is not used. All right, so server is not used at all for SLAAC. All right, because the DHCP version 6 server is not used when implementing SLAAC, hosts are unable to receive additional critical network information, including the DNS server, as well as the domain name. So just in my notes, I'm going to put SLAAC no DNS and no domain. Now, since we're using Packet Tracer, it's not going to give us a domain anyways. We're going to assign it, but it's not going to show up in the ipconfig. Okay. When using stateless DHCP version 6 to assign IP addresses to host, a DHCP version 6 server is used to assign the additional critical network information. However, the IP version 6 address is assigned using SLAAC. Okay. So stateless, you get additional critical information, no IP version 6. I'm going to put in parentheses, signed using SLAAC. Okay. All right. So when implementing stateful DHCP version 6, the DHCP server assigns all network information, including the IP version 6 address. Okay. And I'll just put all info for that. Okay. The determination on how hosts obtain their dynamic IP version 6 addressing is dependent on flag setting contained within the router and advertisement messages. In this scenario, the company has grown in size and the network administrator can no longer assign IP addresses to devices manually. Your job is to configure the R2 router to assign IP version 6 addresses on two different subnets connected to R1. And I think that I don't really agree with how they're doing that. You're actually going to set up R1 to assign IP addresses to these guys. Well, actually, you're going to set up R1 to do both. Hang on one sec. Okay, so in one thing, what it goes through is you set up R1 as using SLAAC first, and then you do a stateless DHCP IP version 6 implementation for this subnet, and then you do a stateful IP version 6 DHCP for this side. All right, and then you relay through R2 to R1. But since it doesn't work in packet tracer, we're not going to do that. All right, so let's see. It notes the routers you need, and if you do this on real equipment. All right, required stuff. We've already cabled our stuff per the packet tracer. All right, so we've done part 1, step 1, configure basic settings for each switch. I'm going to do that just because it's a good thing to do. So let's click on the switches. All right, enable, configure terminal. All right, host name. That's going to be S1. Make that switch 2 also. Kind of like that. All right, so one thing I do to S1, I'm going to do to S2 also. Enable, configure terminal. And you guys need to do this because this will be part of your, you actually submit 4 configuration files. Well, actually, you can just copy it and paste it into a Word document altogether, as long as you label which is S1, S2, R1, R2. All right, so let's go over here. Let's make that host AIM S2. All right. Our command line should change the name. All right. So disable DNS lookup. So no IP. And that's good because if you type in the wrong, I type stuff in the wrong lot, it'll sit there and try to resolve that name to an IP address or to a domain name. Putting this in here, it won't do that. Domain look. All right, so that's done on both. All right, assign class is the privileged exec. So that's enable secret passwords class, enable class. All right, enable class. All right. Next thing I'm going to do, assign Cisco as the console password and enable login. So line console 0. Password is Cisco. Login. To enable it. Over here, line console 0. Password is Cisco. Login. All right, both of those are on. Next thing I'm going to do, assign Cisco as the assign Cisco as the VTY virtual terminal password enable login. Okay, so line VTY 04 password is Cisco also login. If I was doing this on an actual machine, I would actually put it in a notepad and copy and paste it in there at once. So I wouldn't do it line by line. And you see what I messed up right there. Line Y04. Actually, let's do no line Y04. So make sure it's not in there. All right. So I'm in the line 04. password, Cisco, login. All right, that one's on. Those are on. Encrypt all plain text passwords. So service password encryption. Gotta go back one for that. Service password. If you start typing a command in and it doesn't, when you hit tab, nothing happens, more than likely you're typing it on the wrong command line. All right, let's, whoops, config T. All right, service password encryption. All right. So that's done. All right, change the banner. Message of the day. I usually do hashtags. Is prohibited. Exclamation point. Just like that. All right, and I'm actually going to copy this. Copy, paste, enter, enter. All right, both of those are in there. Okay. So shut down on all unused ports. So over here, just move these a little bit. Well, actually, like that's fine. All right, so ports that are used are FA05 and 06. So what we're going to do is do an interface range to do everything all at once. F01 through 4. 5 and 6 are taken up. So F07 through 24, and also gigabit 01 and 2 are not used. So we can do a shutdown on those. All right, it's going to give you a log that says it did that. Now that's S1. All right, S2. Five and 18 are used. So let's go back to 2. All right, internet range, phase 1 through, what's that, 1 through 4. 6 1 through 4. Make sure this is right. So F5, 5 through 18. Okay. FA0, 6 through 17. 18 used up. FA0, 19 through 19 through 24, and gigabit 01 and 2. All right, all those, we're going to shut those down. Okay. All right, save the running config to the startup config. So let's end that. Copy running config to startup config. Yes. For S2. Same thing on S1. Let's do end. Copy running config to startup So all that's done. Oops. All right. Basic router configuration settings. All right, let's do R1 first. All right, enable config T. Host name is R1. Okay. Put these things side by side. Enable config T. Host name is going to be R2. All right, now we're going to disable DNS lookup, so no IP DNS lookup. Or IP domain lookup. All right, so that's done. Let's see. Privilege exec password. Enable secret class. Enable secret class. All right, that's done. All right, assign Cisco to the console password enable login. So console 0 password is Cisco login. All right, and console 0 password Cisco login. All right, that's our consoles. We've done our lookup, our enable secret class, behind console 0 password Cisco. And now we'll do our virtual terminal lines. All right, line VTY04. Password is Cisco login. All right, line VTY04. Password Cisco login. All right, enable encrypt plain text password, so service password encryption. Let's exit all that. Service password encryption. All right, exit all that. Service password encryption. All right, that's good. All right, create a banner. So banner, message of the day. Hashtag. Let's prohibit. Exclamation point, hashtag. Here, let's just do paste. It didn't like when I copied it. All right. Paste. All right. Okay. So turn on IP version 6. So IPv6 unicast. Unicast routing. IPv6 unicast routing. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and configure interfaces and routing for both routers. All right, so router 1, interface gigabit 000, IPv6, address is going to be that right there. Oh, I didn't like that space. All right, take that space out of it. All right, that's good. All right, now I'm going to put in my link local address, FE80::1. Yeah, I need to tell it it's a link local. There we go. All right. Let's do no shutdown. All right, that interface is on. Gigabit interface 001 V6. All right, IPv6 address, FE80::1, local. All right, that's router 1, router 2. Interface gigabit 000, IPv6 address. All right, that's our GUA address. Now I'm going to put in our link local address. I could have just typed that in. FE82 link local. All right, interface gigabit 001 IPv6 address. Is this right here? See, there's a space in there too. Take that space out. Okay. So IPv6 address, FE80::1, link local. All right. Routing, configure the IP addresses, configure a default route on each router pointed to the IP address of gigabit 000 on each and on the other router. All right. Start on R1. Gigabit 000 and R2 is this. I'm going to copy it without the number on the end. All right. Let's exit out of that. V6 root. /0. Paste. All right, R1 is going to R2. And R2. All right. PV6 root /0. Copy. All right, so that looks good. We've done that. Verify routing is working by pinging R2's gigabit 0001 interface. All right. So ping this. Have we turned on those interfaces? No. Oh, duh. The interfaces. So both gigabit 000s are not on. And I can do a do show run and see that. No, it's on. That one's on. That one's shut down right there. All right. Control C, config T, interface gigabit 000, no shut. Now it should be green, which it is. All right, back to here. Control C. So let's see what it said. Pinging R2s. Oh, whoops. Exit. Pin, paste. All right, first one on timeout. And last four should work. Nope. Zero 003.1. that shouldn't matter. Okay, let's ping. That's it. Ping, paste. Oh, let's look at my configuration. Control-C. All right, come on, buddy. I know you're gonna time out. Show IP unicasting. Use cast wrapping is on. Gigabit. Let's see, that is right. 001 is default root of PC1 is that one. All right, let's show on here. Gigabit 00 on R2 is that one. All right, 2, colon, 2, 3, colon, 1, shut. That one shut down. That one doesn't matter though. Oh yeah, that's, well that's, yeah, there we go. Because we're trying to ping it. Let's see. Pinging gigabit 001. Let's see this. Yeah, it's shut down. All right. Now we're getting it. 001. Shut. All right, so that one's on. Let's get to this one. Interface gigabit 001. Oops. T. Interface gigabit 001. All right, no shut. All right, now all of them are on. So I'm going to ping from R1 to R2's gigabit 001. Let's access the end of that. Ping. All right, there we go. All right, now that one pings, and then I can ping from this one. Let's end it. Let's go back. All right, now my pings are working. All right, so SLAAC has assigned my IP addresses now. All right, so no, this video is running a little long. We are to part 2. And now if we go into PCA and go here, go to IP config. All right, nothing showing up but the link local address, and that is the original one. So if we go over here, all right, Ensure that the NIC is configured for IP version 6 automatic configuration. Right there. All right, so it's automatically configured. So automatically configure the IP address, link local address, and gateway. So no DNS. All right. In this portion, they ask you that question, where did the host ID portion from the address come from? It came from the MAC address of the machine, of the PC. All right. Now some of this stuff you're not going to be able to see on Packet Tracer, but let's see. ipconfig /all, like it shows your, let's see, the default gateway. Yeah, see, none of this stuff is showing up, but this is just Packet Tracer. All right, but if you look here, there's your GUA, link local, and gateway. The only thing that's not showing up is the DNS server. All right, and I'm going to skip this. All right, now we're going to set up stateless DHCP version 6 for PCA. And Packet Tracer is kind of funny. I'm going to go ahead and actually disable that port, which is port 5 on S1 before I start, or port F6. All right, Cisco enable class config T interface gigabit 0, whoops, F06. All right, that's F06. Okay, so shut down on that. All right, this thing's a little finicky when you start doing this DHCP version 6 stuff. All right, so that's down. Let's go to R1 and let's enable config T. Whoop. T. All right, so I'm actually going to create an IP version 6 pool for R1 named R1 stateless. As part of the pool, assign the DNS server address and the domain name stateless.com. All right, so I'm going to copy and paste this. Paste. All right, I'm going to paste the DNS server address, which is 254, copy, paste. All right, and then the domain name, copy. And the domain name is not going to show up either. So, all right, so that's in there. All right, so configure the gigabit 001 interface in R1 to provide the other gigabit, the other config flag on the R1 LAN. Specify the DHCP pool you just created as a DHCP resource for this what did it say? This interface. All right, so let's exit out of that. All right, interface gigabit 001 IPv6 network ND network discovery, and you can do question mark to find 3 different types. We're going to do other. All right, IPv6 DHCP server R1 stateless. Be sure I spelled that right. All right. All right, save. Let's end that. Save running. Right. When it said save, I was typing save. Copy. Running config to startup config. All right. So that's set. Now let's go over here, and we can't turn that PC off. Packet Tracer 7.3.0 it doesn't have as many tabs. I just noticed the last couple of days as the previous versions of Packet Tracer. So I can't go in there and like see the diagram, or unless I'm clicking on the wrong thing. All right, so to get by without being able to turn that thing off, I just turn off the interface. So we're on interface F06. This was shut down, so I'm doing no shut. All right. Now I'm going to fast forward to converge it. Now let's look here under PC. Autoconfig has given us everything. All right. And for some reason, if you go static and go back there, it shows you your DNS server, your gateway, all right, all that information. Not a problem. All right. So the difference is it doesn't have the DNS server on the SLAAC only. All right. So that's that. Now let's look at and I believe this still doesn't show up in Packet Tracer, but it doesn't really matter. All right, see how it doesn't show up any of that stuff? It shows up some DHCP version 6 information, but not a lot. All right, so I want to go back to R1, and I want to go to show IPv6 interface. Give it 0, 0. Make sure it's 1. Yep. All right, it shows link local address, global unicast address, subnet. So all that stuff. Now, some of this information in here is not going to show up correctly because it's Packet Tracer, but for the most part, it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. All right. All right. One thing I typed in also was a show IPv6 DHCP binding command, and that shows the this doesn't show as much information as a real router would, but if you notice right here, our original PCA IP version 6 address ended with 4646482. So actually it was 426482. So that shows it. It's done everything but assigning the IP address. All right, so stateful IP will be doing, DHCP will be doing that. So if you do this right here, show run, right? And what you need to submit is just this whole show command right here, starting right there. All right. I need to see all of this. You could actually, it'd probably be easier just to type all this out, copy and paste it. All right. Hit more. So if you did like this, get back. All right. So if you copied all this right here, copy. All right, I'm gonna paste it into a Word document. New. All right, so just like go R1 config. Oh, it doesn't let me paste it out of there. Thank you. Let's see if I can copy all this. All right, that right there. Copy, paste. And when you paste it, paste, keep source formatting. All right, so I just pasted this in here. All right, just like so. And one little change though, since on Packet Tracer, R1 we're not going to set up this the stateful DHCP pool and server. We're going to put that on R2. Okay, so that's the difference. So if you guys are doing this on actually like a NetLab system, you know, follow those instructions. What I'm going to do is actually put it on R2. Cisco enable class config T. All right, so configure a stateful DHCP server on R1. Create a pool on R1 for this network. This will provide addresses to the LAN connected to the interface gigabit 001 on R2, which that's right there. All right, for this LAN. This LAN is your LAN. All right. As part of the pool, set the DNS server to that. Set the DNS name to stateful.com. And just remember, using Packet Tracer, some of this stuff doesn't actually function completely. All right, DHCP. Oh, you know what? I like copying this. Copy, paste. All right, that address. Copy. And if you forget the address prefix, it definitely does not work. I've left that out before, and troubleshooting took a little bit of time. DNS server, entering that. Oh, you know what? Hang on, before I even do any of this, let me disable FA18 on S2. Cisco class. All right. Config T interface F018. There we go. All right, shut down. So we can't really restart that PCB in Packet Tracer right now. So we're going to just disconnect it. All right. So we've done. Let's exit out of that. All right. So assign the DHCP version 6 pool you just created to the interface gigabit 000 on R1. We're actually going to put it on gigabit 001. Because let me make sure on R1 DHCP server right here is on gigabit 0001 for R1. Same thing with R2. We're not really doing it exactly the way that they explained to do it. All right. So we've done that. Let's exit out of that. Let's go to interface. Gigabit 001. All right, IP version 6 DHCP server R2 stateful. Copy that. All right. So you will configure and verify. Actually, did it say? It didn't really say that, but let's go to this. Let's exit out that. Let's do a copy running config startup. All right, that's done. Let's go back here. Let's turn on FA18 interface F018 no shut. Alright, it's going to converge in a sec. Do fast forward. We're going to go in here. We're going to make sure everything's set up. Alright. Auto config's working, but now I'm going to click on the DHCP, but I want to make sure that's the original link local address, and 2001 DB8 ACAD 3. All right, it's assigning an IP address, so and that's a subnet. All right, for whatever reason, when you click this DHCP, it's not working, but that's what it'll look like, right, with it assigned all the IP addresses. I don't know how that happens, but whatever. All right, now if we'll go into R2 and take a look, let's go to show IPv6 DHCP binding 5947. All right, the original MAC address was 4343. Well, the last part of its MAC address 436B5947. So that definitely is PCB. Hold on 1 second. Now we can try and find this thing. Let's do show IP DHCP pool. Oh, didn't show that. But that's what we're looking at right there. Some of the stuff really doesn't work, but let's see real quick. V6 DHCP pool. All right, this, and I've seen it in a lot of places. This is actually a it just doesn't work. It should say 1 because PCB is assigned to it, but that's not in there. All right, but 2001 DB8 ACAD 3. All right. ACAD 3. So it's assigned that correct IP address from the correct subnet. All right. Link local address is the same. Make sure 43. You have 201.43 FFF 6B 5947. All right. So I did everything in here. I know this video is going super long, but the only thing I didn't do is I didn't do the relay from R2 to R1. So all of this I actually I did in R2, and it assigned that IP address. All right. And remember, using packet tracer, not everything works like in an actual router. All right. So that's all you need to do. The big thing is you need to go in here, R2. All right. Show run. All right. Go from right here all the way up to where you're doing the show run command. Copy. All right. I'm going to paste this into my Word document. And you can type router 2 on it if you want, but I know it's router 2 as long as the host name's correct. Alright, and then the same thing for S1. Go in here, Cisco, enable class, show run. Alright, copy all that stuff. Right down to here. And I'm holding down the left mouse button to do this too, and just moving it up. Alright, copy that. Alright, that's switch 1. Or S1 rather. Alright, and finally S2. Go right here. And show run. Alright, and go up here. It goes kind of fast when you scroll up like that. Alright, so I am right here. Copy. Hopefully that worked. Switch to Control V. So when you paste it, keep source formatting. So you right click, when you right click for paste, do it like that. Right, so you should see pretty much like this. Alright, R1 config, like so. I'm not going to show you guys all of it, but just turn in those 4 configurations and I'll take a look at them. Alright, thanks for watching.